Everybody, everybody go. Everybody, everybody go. Run and tell everyone you know. It's time for Talk Live Tuesday. Talk Live Tuesday. You know where we at. It's time to sip and chat. We get to the bag and tell them that tag. Talk Live Tuesday. Talk Live Tuesday. You know where we at. It's time to sip and chat. We get to the bag and tell them that tag. Get it.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Talk Live Tuesdays with Tag. And listen, I'm already laughing because it's going to be a cute show. Now, y'all know last week I said I was bringing somebody that I knew, and I got my girl, Bella Don, Bella Quisha, Bella Quee, Bella, all of the things, the Data Doll. Listen. This is my girl, and y'all know this is my girl, and we're going to get into some things tonight. It's so good to have you on this side of this table this time. And if y'all don't know, Daysha, originally when I first started Talk Live Tuesday, she was one of my first guests, and we were doing it in her apartment on her couch in her beauty room. And so it's like now that we're in this space, because we done seen each other from 3 different spaces at this point. We done went in 3 different vibes, but now I feel like I got the vibe, right? Yes. So tonight we just gonna talk about Data Doll.
Yes,
you ready to get into
it?
Of course. Introduce yourself to the audience, even though if it's new people watching or if it's people that don't know you, just give yourself a shout out real quick. Talk about you.
Yes. Oh my God. What's up, you guys? It's your girl, Day the Doll, Belladon, all of the dolls in between. Also Daysha E. It's my government name. But yeah, it's me. I think the best way to describe who I am as a person is, I like to say at this point that I'm a shapeshifter.
Yes.
Best way to describe it, because I'm a makeup artist. I'm a host and correspondent. I also teach makeup classes to teenagers. So it's like I do so many different things.
Yes.
I creative direct and produce. So many different angles to your girl.
Yes.
Literally.
So many different angles. And we're going to get into a few of those angles tonight. Now, we're going to talk about, we're going to get into the things. But of course, I definitely wanted to formally interview you too, because I feel like it's overdue and I feel like you've done so much. So, we're going to call it from face beats to brand in the street.
Period.
The Daysha effect.
Oh, that's nasty.
The Daysha effect. That. Yeah, you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So now, again, my friend is a PR baddie. She is a beauty boss. She's a makeup artist. She's a journalist, entrepreneur, all of the things of the things. And most importantly, a content queen. Like, she gives the content up. So now tonight we're going to talk about not only our friendship, we're going to talk about her as a makeup artist, her being, an influence to the culture. We're going to talk about her going to FAMU, which is where we met at. And we're going to get into a lot of it. We do have to talk about some friendship things, like I said. And I also have like a cute little segment for you too. And it's really just based off of your show. So yes, it's called The Hot Seat, but it's also the top topics. And I picked 5 topics from your show that I thought were interesting. And we just gonna have you discuss your thoughts here today. Cute. Yes. So now, me and Daysha, like a few years ago, we had a spat. But let me tell you this really quick. I want to say this. The reason I wanted to bring her on too, because my first couple of shows was about the friendship series. And I still have one more episode to go with that. But I feel like it was good to bring her on too, not only to interview you, but also to just show like the span of friendship and sometimes how friendships work out. Because if it's a true friend, you can go through whatever, and no matter what the situation is, and it doesn't have to be tomorrow. It don't have to be next week, next month. Hell, it could be a year down, a year or two later. Yeah. But if it's meant to be, like, that's gonna be the person, that's gonna be your friend. Like, that's gonna be somebody you can go back to, and it's all about conversations and being able to take accountability, but also being able to, like, again, like we said, have those talks, take that accountability. And I think for me in the friendship series, what we talked about too is just being loyal. Like knowing that at the end of the day, like no matter what happens between us, like at the end of the day, I'm gonna still have your back. You're gonna still have mine.
For sure.
Type thing. But you know, so we kind of did, just to give y'all a little background of what happened, because y'all know, I know y'all seen Daysha on Chasing Atlanta with me when we had our little, did our little 1-2 at the reunion, at the reunion, child. And then, you know, Daysha was always told the people place up.
My God.
And then, you know, Daysha did, she also always did my makeup for damn near everything that I did, like for the photo shoots to when I was doing Talk Live Tuesdays in like my other studio, and it was more so formal. Like she did a lot. And then, you know, some things happened between myself and her and other parties.
Yeah.
And at the time, I think as friends, we were, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like we were still growing up.
We were
still growing
definitely still growing up. I think that the best way to describe it is like we kind of broke up.
Yes, we broke up.
Yeah, we kind of broke up because we was with each other all the time.
Like, if you see her, you see me.
Yes.
You see her girlfriend at the time. You see Deborah. Yeah. And then when James was here, you see James. Like, we was always together.
And I was literally all over your Instagram.
Yes,
you was all
everywhere.
over mine. It was crazy.
Every fucking
And like you said, we were still like learning each other and like growing through so many other things at the same time.
Yeah.
Like our friendship wasn't one dimensional. Like it was so many different angles to how we were just like doing so much.
Yeah.
You was on the show. You were working. Not only are you working, you're the manager. Like, and then I got makeup going on, and then I'm trying to be a producer and tap into creative directing, as well as I'm in this long relationship, damn near married. You know what I'm saying? So domesticated and also trying to maintain that.
Right.
But I do think like the best way to describe it is just like we literally had a moment.
Yeah, we had a moment.
Like it was literally a moment. But we definitely broke up.
We broke up. Like, no, like when I tell you I broke up, like I was in my house for like weeks. And my best friend would tell you, like, my best friend asked me about that shit. Like, you know, I just can't talk about it right now. Like, I would literally, I cried, baby. Like, there were real tears.
You
like,
told me. Let me tell y'all, I will never forget. One of the last conversations we had, you said to me on the phone, I'm going to cry when we get off of here. And I was like, oh my God, could you please not? And you were like, no, I'm definitely going to cry when we hang up this phone.
Cry. Baby, like.
And I was like, oh my God, I really broke his heart.
I really have hard separation issues. And I think when it comes, and being in therapy has helped me with that. So I'm able to like bow out gracefully, or even just like, if I do feel the emotion, to just be like, okay, feel the emotion and move forward, because everything would have me down for so long to y'all. It was just to the point where I could not fucking function. I couldn't function. But we are here now, and we had a conversation like a few months ago.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Was that last year?
It was last year. It's last year. We had a conversation last year, and we talked about things, and we wrote our wrongs. And I think that's just, I'm in the space I'm in now. Like I had a conversation with another Libra recently. And you know, was righting some wrongs there too. She know who it is. That's why she's laughing. But we had some conversations too. But it's just like, I felt like in that moment, what we couldn't establish back then at the time when we were having conversation, when we were trying to fix the problem. Yeah, I feel like we were able to do that in a whole new adult way.
For sure.
When we sat down with each other. And before we start with the interview, I just wanted to tell you, like, I love you.
I love you
and,
too.
You know, shout out to James. Shout out to Jamie, Mr. Rosier. Because James, I'll never forget the day. Okay, her being. I'll never forget the day James called me when we was in the car. I was in my car. I was getting out to go to a former friend of mine's house, and James called me, and James on the phone. He was like, "Somebody want to talk to you," and y'all. When they shook out on the phone and I was like, Bella Quisha. And we talked and we did our little 1-2. We was like, we gonna get together, da 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 da. And I got the phone with her then and I cried.
It was instant. It
was like a boom.
I know we still here.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't oh girl, I don't wanna it was instantly like
yes.
Bitch, this is the moment I've been waiting for.
It wasn't coerced. Like it didn't have like weird energy or nothing like that. Yeah. We wasn't trying to figure out how to maneuver with each other. It was instantly like, oh my God.
Okay, hey girl, I miss you. We met. What's up?
Literally. Because I think, let me say this. I would like to say that, like you said, with maturity, that's something that helped us. But something that I realized about myself as well was I was being pulled in so many different directions by multiple parties of people that I genuinely love.
Right.
And I had to realize that one, I had like a little mini saviors complex where I was just always trying to save everybody and everything.
Yeah.
I'm so used to being kind of like the glue.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of like the glue to a lot of my friendships or like the mutual party to so many different things. I can hang with so many different crowds and not really like be beefy with anybody or anything like that. But then I had to realize like, that's a you thing and that's a you thing. That don't got nothing to do with me.
Right.
And once I started to do that, I was able to put myself in a position where it's like, okay, we can move past certain stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
and I even told myself too, I was like, bitch, I need a down girl like Daysha. Bitch, if you don't put me first, like she put her bitch first at the time, baby, I don't want you.
You was my man.
That was my girl. No. Like when I tell you, like we were at neck and neck. Like baby, we done did everything together. Done about to had to jump on people together.
Oh my God,
we did it all, baby.
We were planning to have kids.
Like when and even Daysha would tell you if Daysha called me. If Daysha called and something was going on, baby, now I tell you, I'm on the way, or me and Devron on the way. Like we were pulling up no matter what. Like, but. Again, I'm glad to have you. And we're going to get in and talk about Daysha E.
Yes, it's your girl.
It's your girl. And it's your boy.
Yes.
They used to be our Instagram bios too, child. Oh, girl. Wow, what a time. Now, we're going to talk about pretty, paid, and PR trained.
Period.
Let's get into it. Clock that, because she's definitely a PR girl. Shout out to Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, because we are Rattlers.
The best
the
HBCU
in the nation, folks. So, tell us about your journey, starting at FAMU and getting into journalism. Like, what made you want to go to journalism?
So when I first got into school, initially I was a broadcast journalism student. And I think in one of my introduction to broadcast classes, they had like a reporter come in, and the reporter kind of like went around and told us like the weight, the demographic, how you needed to look, how you needed to dress, and all of these different things. And once they kind of like went around the room, they basically went around the room and like said, if you already 18 years old, sit down. If you weigh over however much, sit down. If you this, sit down. And by the time we finished looking around, it probably was like 3 or 4 people left standing. And they were like, y'all will be the ones to land the TV spot. The rest of y'all, you got to either knock some of them things off in order to get a TV spot. And I was just like, this is insane. I can't believe I'm about to go to school for this.
Girl.
Now, granted, I always had like a natural niche for speaking. Like when I was in elementary school, I was valedictorian of my class. I was president. I led graduation. I had a little graduation speech. I did oratorical contests all the time. Have been on national television with my sister and stuff like that. And anytime, anytime it was time to like introduce her or anything, like my mama would be scared to talk to reporters. My daddy would be like, I don't want to do the TV stuff. My sister would even be like, I don't want to do this. But I was always the one like, I do it.
Okay, look,
Y'all can ask me whatever.
Yes.
So I've always had like a love for speaking, and
Mm-hmm.
I've always had like a love for everything broadcast.
Yeah.
So after that happened in one of my intro to broadcast classes, I went to speak to my advisor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my advisor at the time was Miss Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the person that said, maybe you should go to school for PR. If you switch over to PR, you get to learn broadcast, you get to learn graphic design, you get to learn videography, photography, you learn publications, you learn how to do magazine, you learn how to do newspaper, you can be a publicist. Mm-hmm. And then she also was the person that told me that everything on earth requires PR.
Yes.
At that time, I didn't know that at all. So I only knew about branding and marketing, but I didn't know what public relations was. So once she said that, I was like, oh, let's get it. That's up my alley, because I have always been the type of person that like to do a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
So PR was just one of those things that automatically gave me that gateway to be able to do a little bit of everything. And in hindsight, with what I'm doing today, everything that I do falls under PR. Yeah. Girl, every single thing.
And it's so crazy because that was basically a similar story for me too. Like, I went to I had did my first year. I told myself I was going to pharmacy school. Mm-hmm. I did my first year of school. And then after that first year of school, I was like, science, math, statistics.
I walked out of my biology class on the first day.
That is not for me. So I went to my advisor and I was talking to her. She was like, what you want to do? And long story short, I basically told her, I was like, I either want to be on TV or do something that works with TV and be behind the scenes. Yeah. And she was like, have you ever thought about journalism? And she was telling me about journalism. And then I was like, you know, it sounds cool or whatever. Then she started talking to me about PR, which is Miss Howard. Rest in peace to Miss Howard. And she led me to public relations. And it, like you just said, long story short, like everything I do now like leads under public relations.
Literally.
Like my show, even when I was on Chasing, even down to me being still in management at work.
I was just going to say, even your day job.
Yes, my day job. Like, it helps
you
me.
Image consult.
Yes.
That is part of
public
PR.
relations. Yes. Like, and it helps me, like, even when it comes to, like, doing events at work, like, marketing those things. Like, it's crazy how like, for me, I know I said, I was like, I'll probably never use this degree and da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, I'm going to be this, be that. Yeah. And it's just like, dang, everything you end up doing is what you went to school for. It's just crazy how it all ties back to that.
Literally.
So from PR to beauty, what made you go into beauty world?
So,
girl, first of all, I done bought her in 1942. We need to take a shot really quick because, baby, we ain't drawn. Let's see how now that's how you know the conversation is real, because we jump right into the chat. So cheers.
Cheers.
To friendship.
I was going to say to friendship. Yes, oh my God. I love him.
I love you more. Damn.
Just a little sip of Nice because she's spicy. She is spicy. Let me crack my Red Bull.
Yes, crack your little Red Bull. Wild berries.
Collars.
Yeah, give us.
Okay.
Seriously. That's where we at. I need the brand and deal.
Baby, one thing about a Tuesday show.
Okay.
On my show.
Sponsor me.
We be shouting out everybody.
Shout it out. Call us. We will come. It ain't gotta be too much, girl. I take a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 K check. You know, not major. We just started out. But yeah, journalism to beauty.
Yes. So my background is actually beauty. Like my upbringing is actually beauty. So my aunt is a hairstylist. She always did everybody hair, 2-strand twists, plaits, ponytails, sew-ins, whatever. So as a kid in high school, my mom would not allow me to work a day job. Like I couldn't go get a little quick job. My mom was like, your job is to be a student and to finish school. So I always wanted to like have my own money and make my own money. I never really cared to have to ask my parents for money.
Same.
So I used to do hair with my auntie. I would do 2-strand twists. Yes. Everybody that went to Miramar High School, the girls know I used to do ponytails, mohawks, you know what I'm saying? Little quick weave from time to time.
From a little 1, 2.
Yeah, little 2-strand twist plaits. And that's how I got introduced to like the hair side of things, or like my first introduction to beauty. And then my mom has always been a Mary Kay rep or what was the other one? It was Mary Kay and it was Avon.
Avon, yes.
My mama used to have that Avon.
That's how you know my girl is a real girl. If you know about Avon, then
my
you a
mama
real
used to
girl.
have that Avon book, baby, be walking around with it, having her little parties.
Yes.
And this is around the time that I think Mary Kay, and I think they still do it. Like, if you sell a certain amount of products to get to a certain point, they give you a pink Cadillac.
Yeah. They do?
Yes.
Girl, let me go sell some damn Mary Kay.
That's a thing.
I remember having my Avon little roll-on deodorant
Yes.
with the liquid. That was my favorite kind of deodorant back then.
So that was kind of like my introduction there. But fast forward, my sister went to FAMU before me. And me and my sister Diamond are like 4.5 years apart. So any phase that I'm entering, she's usually exiting.
Right.
So when she was about to graduate from college, I was just about to go to college. So my mom sent me to stay with my sister during the summer of my 11th grade year and my 12th grade year. I think I went 2 years back to back. And one of the summers while I was in Tallahassee, just on FAMU campus with my sister, going to class with her, just doing everything, she said to me that she wanted to start doing motivational speaking. And she had a photo shoot coming up as well. So my sister was like, I'm going to start doing motivational speaking. And if you take makeup serious, you could be my makeup artist.
Period.
So I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Now, I was probably like in the 11th grade or 12th grade at that time. So I did her makeup. She was actually my first person that I ever did any makeup and hair for that was like photographed by a real photographer at the time. And after that, when I went back home to Miami for the school year, I was busting down cap and gown makeup for the students in the bathroom. I was doing my mom makeup for different little events and stuff that she had to do. I had just pretty much started being like the makeup girl. And like I said, it's always been something that pretty much was in me because I come from a Caribbean household as well. My mama and my daddy are Jamaican. So everything had to be age appropriate. So I wasn't allowed to wear makeup or anything like that. I wasn't really allowed to get my nails done or nothing like that until I was probably like in the 11th grade going to the 12th grade is when I could really do full beauty stuff. But baby,
you was
9th grade, 10th grade, 8th grade, I was taking my mama little eyeshadow palettes to that school. I was busting the things down in the bathroom.
Period.
Walking around with royal blue eyeshadow.
Girl.
Okay?
And make sure it was off by the time you got home.
Listen, and let me tell you how I was such a bad like sneaker. Like I sucked at sneaking.
Same.
I would get on I would get on the bus, y'all, and get off the bus with the fucking makeup on. My mama like, what's that on your face? You took my mascara? It did. Now I'm caught.
My daddy always used to say, he was like, you would never get caught. You just did shit and put it back how it was. But baby, I didn't know how to do that, baby, because once I got it, baby, it's mine. I can't worry about it.
Yeah, no, for real.
Now, what sparked Doll by Day? Like, where did that come about?
Yes. So Doll by Day actually came about on FAMU's campus. So I, coming in as a freshman to FAMU, it was me and probably one other girl. Shout out to Destiny. One other girl that wore makeup out of our whole class. So they only had me or Destiny to show them how to do makeup stuff. So I lived in Diamond and McGuinn Hall. RIP to McGuinn and Diamond because it's definitely not there anymore. Shout out to all the mad girls because we are them girls. So I lived on the first floor in Diamond Hall, and I was one of the only people that came into our class wearing makeup. So everybody from the cheerleaders to just girls in the hall would come to my room and ask me to do their eyebrows or do their eyeshadow. I had like a room full of cheerleaders that lived next door to me. So I used to do their makeup before games and different things like that. So I kind of just started doing it. And then also at that time, I was just like, I need to come up with like a name for this because right now I'm just doing it.
Right.
But I had started meeting other people who were entrepreneurs in my age that started their own businesses and had their own things going on. So it was like, okay, I need to figure out how to make this something legit.
Yeah.
And the name Doll by Day came about because every time people see me, they always say, you look like a little doll.
No.
Literally, like to this day, people still be like, you look like a doll baby.
Yes.
So that's what made me come up with the name Doll by Day.
Yeah.
I dropped the E on the doll because I wanted everything to kind of be like D, D, D.
Mhm.
So every time you see it, it brings you back to the fact that my name is Daysha.
Yeah.
So that's why I spelled it DOLLD. Now, it was a lot of DOLLEDs on Instagram at the time.
Yeah.
I was one of the first, and I would like to give myself the first
Yes.
DOLLD.
You are.
Now,
I'll give you that.
if you go on Instagram now, it's some DOLLDs out there.
It's some DOL.
It is. It's some dolls out there.
Give my girl
sure.
her name back. Thank you.
No, for sure. I mean, listen, I am here to inspire.
Yes.
So I'm not mad at the girls for taking the DOLLD.
Yes. She's an influencer.
It is LLC, so you can't take my shit.
Thank you. Now, Doll by Day and Is Your Brand, like, how did you use your background in PR to, brand yourself?
Yeah. This is a good one. So I pretty much use my background in PR to brand myself by just simply, one, always being a representative of my brand.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime you saw me, I'm dressed.
Mm-hmm.
My face, done.
Done.
Hair,
Yes.
done. I'm going to be together every time you see me because something that FAMU taught me is at least look the part.
Yes. If you look the part.
You could not know nothing.
Okay.
You can at least look the part, though, to get yourself in the room.
One thing Dr. Grape always said, fake it till you make it.
Hello.
Mhm.
You need to look like somebody. So I always knew how I presented myself and how I carried myself. And then also coming from that Jamaican household, my dad did not play that.
Yeah.
My dad was take them bonnets off, take them headscarves off, take them pajamas off, and put on some clothes.
Thank you.
A cute little house outfit that actually matched, not even like a big t-shirt type vibe.
Yes.
So I always knew to like present yourself a certain kind of way.
Yeah.
So I would show up looking the part, but then I'm also very social.
Yeah.
So I will always, I'm big on guerrilla marketing or
Yeah.
like mouth to mouth.
Mhm.
So I will always talk to people.
Yeah.
Because once you see me, the first thing you're going to say is, oh my God, you're so pretty.
Yeah.
Oh my God, your makeup.
Yeah.
Now we done segue into, what's up? I'm actually
Yeah.
a makeup artist. You could look just like me too if you want.
Period.
So I always would make sure I look the part so that'll open up the actual conversation. And then now we could get into it.
Yeah.
So that honestly is like, that is one of those methods that still works for me to this day.
That word of mouth, and again, like you said, that word of mouth, and also being the face of your brand and being your own marketing. Like, what's the thing say? I can't even think of the quote right now, but when they say like your the quote where it'd be like such as your business card and
oh yes,
you know what
I
I'm
know
saying?
exactly what you're talking about.
But that's basically what it is. Like, you walk around and you are your business. Like, if you ain't got a business card, look like something from your business, or
Please.
let someone know. Like you said, when you go into a room, talk.
Yes.
Work it out.
One thing about me, I am going to, and I try not to resume thump.
Yeah.
Because that can get a little like draining in conversations.
Yeah.
Or it can make conversations feel a little coerced. Or
Yeah.
it's like, are we like, like dick measuring in a
Yeah.
sense? And I try not to do it that way, but I'm definitely gonna tell you who I am and what I do within probably the first 10 minutes of talking to me.
Got to.
Because you can be a potential client. You could also be a potential partner.
Yeah.
You could be somebody that hold the keys to the next step
in my
that
life
I need to go to.
Hello.
So it's like anytime I am in a room, I'm going to talk.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna smile at people. I'm gonna wave at people. I'm not one of those girls that like, a lot of times like people gather and be like, ooh, she cute.
Yeah.
If I hear people doing that, I'm gonna go to you.
I'm gonna say thank you.
I'm like, thank you.
Yes, I do the same
Like,
thing. Where was I at? Oh my God. I was in Orlando for work. I was in Orlando for work and I was training, and every time I would walk by, I had on this particular outfit, and people would just be like, I like his outfit. And I would just be like, thank you. Like, I turn around and say, just so you know that I hear you. Cause just like, you can tell me you like my outfit. You ain't gotta be shy. Like, girl, send it to the side, make me feel like you being a little haterish. So don't be a hater.
And I don't bite. But something that I also learned about PR was you only get as far as you put yourself out there. So back to your initial question, That's why I always put myself out there like that, because I've been told that you only make as much money as exposure as you have.
Mhm.
So I try to always just keep myself exposed to a certain like place where it's like healthy,
Yeah.
but also to a place where I can always leave space open for opportunity.
Yeah.
Always.
I love that. Now, in this market of beauty, of course, you know, there's a big makeup market now.
Yes.
Like everyone is doing something beauty, whether if it's like a celebrity or someone on a smaller scale.
Mhm.
Like, what is your strategy like to stand out when it comes to such a saturated market?
My strategy to stand out as a makeup artist is I do not change your face. I enhance your natural beauty.
Period.
So that's my lane.
Mhm.
If you are looking for me to like completely shapeshift you,
Mhm.
I always tell people that's not my forte.
Yeah.
I feel like makeup is a extremely oversaturated market, but there are a bunch of amazing makeup artists that's in the market as well. We all just have our specialty of how we do makeup. I've had my fair share of celebrity clients. I literally used to be in class Tuesday to Thursday and traveling to LA, New York, Miami, a little bit of everywhere to do makeup on the weekends as a student, working with celebrity clients and BET and VH1 and WeTV and all of these different things.
Yeah.
And once I stopped doing that, I noticed that wasn't really the lane for me.
Yeah.
Those aren't really my demographic of people that I want to service.
Yeah.
And I kind of did like a mini rebrand without it being like a big thing.
Yeah.
Without calling it a rebrand as well, where I told myself I literally wanted to work with working class women and give them a celebrity like experience and feel.
Yeah. And I love that. Like that's a big thing to do because you know, people that are in our regular world, they want to feel that same way. Like even if they don't have the money or they're not like the richest, they do want to feel like for one night only, maybe, bitch.
Please.
I want to feel like Beyonce today.
Yes,
let me
literally.
let me have a glam squad come. Somebody doing my hair, somebody doing my makeup, somebody getting my outfit together, and let me just have this experience.
Yeah.
So,
and you deserve, and you definitely deserve because you work hard. So it's like, come on, let somebody love on you. And I noticed that I tell people that there's a form of ministry in makeup for me, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't touch clients' faces or anything if my energy is off, if I don't feel good, if my like spirit is not in the right place, I will not put my hands on your face because energies transfer.
Yeah, they do.
So I feel like there's a form of ministry in what I do. You sit in my chair, and when you sit in my chair, by the time you get out, you have either learned how to love your flaws. I have either talked you through a situation. And a lot of the time, a lot of my clients to get up and be like, I feel like I've known you for so long. I just met you. So I get the opportunity to like love on my clients.
And that's how it should be.
And make them love the things that they think are flaws.
Yeah.
So I love that about like my working class clients. Working with celebrity clients, sometimes you can't even talk to people. You just got to work.
Yep.
And I'm not.
They don't be one to do it.
And I'm not here for that. I'm actually here for pouring into people.
Yeah.
Not only am I going to make your outside look good, but I want you to work on the insides as well.
Yeah.
So I like to pour into people while they getting their makeup done by me at the same time. So I just really, I love my little working class group of people.
Okay, baby. Love the working class woman, baby, because that all money spend the same. If you ain't know, all money spend the same.
And let's be clear, I love me a good auntie working class.
Okay, because that means she got the coin and she gonna throw you a good tip.
And she just want a quick beat. She want a 30-minute.
Okay.
And she gonna pay you like you was there for 2 hours.
She don't want the full glam.
Love her. Love her.
Now, follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
What's one thing girls think they need to be booked and busy that's actually holding them back?
One thing that girls think they need to be booked and busy, but it's holding them back. One thing girls think they need to be booked and busy. I think people think that they need a bunch of like clout or notoriety to be booked or busy. And that's actually something that clouds your judgment. I won't say it work against you. It clouds your judgment. Because one of my favorite things to tell people is if you live by the applause, you die by them. That means when people clapping, you happy. But soon as people stop clapping, you feel lifeless.
Yeah.
That is not the way to go.
And in this world and in the generation we're in, and especially if you're trying to be any kind of entrepreneur, you just got to do it.
Yes.
You got to do it, and you got to keep doing it. You can't stop doing it.
So there are phases. I like to tell people there are phases to being an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
You get an idea. You're excited about the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Then you start working on the idea. You get a little nervous, but then you still carry it out. Then you get to a good point where it's like, okay, I think I know what I'm supposed to be doing here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to a point where everything kind of comes to like a halt stop where it's like, dang, I thought I knew what I was doing, but now we tapped into the next level of this. I don't really know if this is for me. That right there is the make or break point of a lot of people. A lot of people either go back and start back at step one by going for a whole new idea, or some people push past that and they go through the next couple of steps.
Yeah.
You really got two options.
You really got two options.
You really do. You can keep putting yourself back at point A, or you can push yourself to get past point G. But those are really your only two options.
Speak to me, because when I tell you that, I felt like, and I was literally telling Devron, and I was telling my friends this too. Like, I was just like, every time I would get to a point where I would get my show going, and then I would feel like, oh, I need to change something, and I would put it on pause, and then I would do the same thing again, and then get somewhere and be like, dang, I need to fix this, put it on pause, and then next thing I know, I don't put it on pause so much, so it's just like, okay, now I don't even know what direction I really want to go in, so now it's on halt permanently for right now. But I told myself this go around, like, while I'm doing my show, like, even if I don't put out a show every week or every Tuesday, even if I do 2 shows a month or whatever, but I want it to be consistent, like, continue to keep posting, like, kind of like, not even necessarily how Carisha did, but like how, when she did Carisha Please, like, she would post every once so often. No, I don't want to post like every 1 or 2 months, but definitely like every 2 weeks, every month, whatever case may happen, just to keep that thing going. And I was saying too, like, on the times where I'm not filming, I don't have a guest, like, how do I keep my YouTube rolling? How do I keep those views going? And I'm just like, okay, I think I'm gonna just start going live on YouTube. Like, whether if it's I'm cooking or something, I could put my camera up, or I'm just sitting down and I'm home by myself and I'm like, want to talk about a show that I'm watching or whatever, but do something to put something on my channel to keep my views rolling. Because as long as you're being consistent and keep it pushing out, the more people are watching. I
think people are always looking for new methods and ways to make their stuff pop.
Yes.
And the reality of it is, there is no new method.
There is no method.
Consistency is the key. Seriously. And I know it's so cliche.
It sounds like it too, but it's the truth.
I used to cringe when people tell me, you just need to be consistent.
You just got to keep going.
It's like,
girl, you gonna give me the money for the consistency?
Exactly. Okay. If you don't get out my face with that, but in hindsight, it's so true. And what our issue is, we think that consistency is linear. We think that consistency should be this. It's not. Consistency looks like this. It just depends. Like, it really does.
Do you watch Poor Minds podcast?
Just got to do a little bit every day. I do.
You do? Did you see the episode when they talked about them doing their show and how they did their show for basically 2 years before it really started getting traction?
Yeah.
And they were like, they started out sitting on the floor and they're in each other's rooms and doing their show. And then they got a studio and whatever. And then they kept going. And they were like, it was a time they even fell out in the midst of that. But it was like, we still gonna get together to do this work.
Because we got shit to do.
We still got shit to do. Like, we gonna do this work. So we could be mad at each other. We can not like each other. But guess what? We get on these cameras, all that shit go to the side. Because we still gotta do work.
For sure.
And I feel like you just said, like, it sounds cliche, but it's the God honest truth. Like,
for sure.
Be consistent. Keep it going. And the more that you keep it going, the more people, because again, it's just about putting in people's face. The more people see it, the more people
gonna be like, on their radar.
It's gonna take one person to be like, click. Let me check this out. Yeah. Because I've seen this 500 times. Let me look at it this one day. And they may tell 300 other people. Yeah. And that's 300 other viewers you got. They may share it to their story and got 2 million views. And it may not even be something that you expected it to blow up. It may just be something that spoke to them and they posted to their story and look at all of them. Not everybody want to come see what you're talking
about.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's all it's about. Now, we're going to go into our next segment. And I did this. I really did this for you. I had to come up with like cute little segment names.
I love these names.
So we're gonna do Boss Talk.
Period, Boss Talk.
Beauty hustle, and boundaries.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Now, how does she balance being a creative and business minded?
Ooh. You know, this is a really good question because probably like a year and a half ago, I think I came to the realization of balance is an idea. It's not that real when you think about it, right? But the way I like to describe balance is, and how I balance my life is, I give my energy to whatever it is that I'm working on in that moment. And that's kind of how I balance stuff. So if I'm being a makeup artist, I focus on being a makeup artist and what my role is as a makeup artist, which is perfecting your face, loving on you, ministering to you, and helping you love yourself with or without this makeup. And that's where all my focus is. And then once I'm done with that, if I get a text from my group message for my show, then I go into host mode and I focus on that. We got to edit for the new episode. It's a 50-minute episode. You got to sit and watch it and critique it, find all the lighting issues, if the audio go out, if the asset don't pop up when it's supposed to pop up. I sit down, I focus on just that, and I do just that. And then when the next thing come up, I do just that. And that's pretty much how I balance everything. I would be lying if I said that I'm like really great with that all the time. Not all the time, but now more than ever, I truly practice like pouring myself into whatever it is that I'm doing.
Yeah. And you have to stay focused on, I was just telling someone that is an acquaintance of mine, an associate of mine, and we're just trying to like, someone knew that I'm trying to build a friendship with, or just exploring the friendship option. And they were saying like how they're doing, they're working on a book, they're working on their YouTube, they're working on like, it was like 3 other things at one time. And I was like, I said, but what are you focusing?
Yeah.
Which one is your focus right now? Like you can't do all 7 of those at one time. Like,
no.
Because you're on social media saying you're crying and you're burnt out. And I was like, well, what's going on? And you tell me that you're doing all of these things at one time.
Yeah.
That's why you're burnt out.
Yeah.
Like if you can't do, let me tell you something. I'm not doing my show, no red carpet, all of this in one day. Like if it's a red carpet day, baby, let me switch this show to the next day because I need to focus on this majority of the day. If I'm doing a photo shoot, okay, let me focus directly on the photo shoot, but I can't be texting somebody else talking about the show, because if I do that, it's like now my mind, I'm moving my mind in so many different places, and it's like that's when you start forgetting things. That's when you start missing the important details.
And that's
when
you burn out.
That's when you burn out.
You can literally burn out from your mind just going too much. You ain't even got to physically be doing stuff all the time. Now, what I can tell you is I am the type and the life that I'm working towards. I will have to wear probably 3 different caps in one day. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's the life I live right now. Like today alone. Yeah. Today alone. Oh my God. I was a teacher today. I was a host today. Yeah. And then now I'm a guest. Yeah. So it's like I do each thing, but while I'm doing each thing, I give it my energy and my all, and everything else gotta wait. Yeah. Like my phone over here vibrating right now.
Yes, I keep Deborah just called me. You know, Deborah don't really call me, so that's why I'm looking at my phone like, girl, what's going on? But he ain't send a text and he ain't call back again. So I'm like, okay, I ain't gonna call him. I ain't gonna stop.
Because baby, press pause on the show.
Press pause on the show, bitch, girl. My good sister calling. Something might be wrong. But no.
But yeah, so I literally like I will leave my messages sitting until I'm done doing whatever it is that requires my attention at the time.
And I think we have to get used to like putting the phones to the side, because at the end of the day, like there was a time phones weren't a thing. Like I was just saying on Twitter the other day, like somebody was like, what they said, I don't want a man that work a 9 to 5. And I said, well, how was bitches getting by before social media? How was bitches getting by before they were on OnlyFans? Like, what was the method?
Exactly.
Like, what is the method now? Because at the end of the day, you still gotta
work.
Okay,
that's what the method is.
The method is still, if you're not getting money consistently off of something, you probably need a job. Like, because baby, clearly scamming. The scamming thing is people are getting caught up because they coming for you PPP girls. I'm just
No,
letting y'all know.
they picking y'all ass.
They
up.
picking y'all ass.
Let me tell you
Hello.
this. 3 out of 10 do not recommend entrepreneurship. I'm just being honest.
No, literally, girl. And my girl's still going because, baby, look, I had quit that job for 3 months. It was doing. I said, "Oh no, I need me a real.
Go back to
I need me
work.
a real check, bitch." Because no,
Listen,
damn.
I'm telling y'all, it is the most. So it's so funny because I kid y'all not. It's the most fulfilling, stressful, intense, beautiful fucking disaster ever. Because I feel like you go through phases with entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
You quit your job, you be so happy-go-lucky about what you about to do.
Okay.
So optimistic, just bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And you do that, and for like the first 6 months to a year, you ain't do shit.
Okay.
You just be sleeping for however long you want to, wake up when you want to, go wherever you want to when you want to, but then that money that you had saved up run out.
Mm-hmm. And that life catch up with your ass.
Man. And then because in your mind, you think entrepreneurship means freedom.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It does not.
Entrepreneurship means you work 25/8.
25. And I don't think people, I didn't get that.
I didn't get it either.
But you're literally working sun up to sundown until you start seeing that check rolling in.
Man.
You're working 24.
You have to literally answer. So you, at least with a job, you go from having a structured situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have a 9 to 5. You know, you go at 9, you get off at 5.
Yeah.
When you work for
take your break at 1 o'clock.
Listen, when you work for yourself and you ain't got no money, and somebody call that phone right now and be like, "Hey, I need you to do makeup," and you ain't got no money.
You ain't got no money.
You got to get up.
You got to get up.
Like right here in this moment. You could not feel good. You could not want to. You could just simply not feel like it. Yeah. You have no choice. At least you know you just got to turn it on from 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. And then once you off at 5, you good to go. So I always tell people, like, I advise people to find a healthy balance between working your day job and being an entrepreneur as well, until you can consistently create multiple ways to create like income.
Yeah.
You have to.
What was the moment did you feel like you wanted to give up on all of this? Like, if there was a moment, but what moment did you feel like, I just want to give up?
It was a moment.
On this entrepreneurship
It was more than
thing.
one moment. I ain't gonna hold y'all. It'd probably be a moment at least once a quarter. Just real honest.
Yes. Definitely.
I'm just being honest. Yes. Oh my God. A moment where I felt like I wanted to just give up on all of it. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I had got into like a weird space probably like a year and a half ago, where I just genuinely felt like I lived in a virtual reality. I felt like I was going through the motions for everything in every way. I wasn't really motivated or like loving doing makeup anymore. I wasn't. Everything just wasn't ideal in my mind. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like what I imagined or where I imagined myself to be. Mm-hmm. And in that moment, I was just like, you know what? Forget it. I'm about to go back and get a job.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm trying to think. Probably like at the top of this year, I was applying for jobs again. I was. But every time, for whatever reason, every time I go to apply for a job, something in me just be like, you're not supposed to be doing that. Mm-hmm. You got to stay the path. Mm-hmm. You have to stay the path when it feels good, when it feels bad, when it make you feel like shit, when you don't want to do it, when you want to do it. Because what I had to teach myself was, one, I was operating in a fairy tale lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Like I had, like, you know how everybody doing a little TikTok right now? Mm-hmm. Like me at 25, I would have had kids. I would have had a home. I would have been married. And then now everybody's showing like them at like 30 and they just traveling or whatever. I think that we all have like these fairy tale thought processes about how stuff goes. Mm-hmm. And I think it comes from us being optimistic and just having faith about some of the like visions that we have received. Because I don't think of stuff as ideas anymore.
Yeah.
I call them visions.
Yeah.
God give you vision.
Yeah.
And
I
then
also
he
think-
makes provision.
Yeah.
But nobody said that it was just going to simply be super easy.
Right.
Like it has to come with some difficulty. It has to come with some challenges. So I have taught myself that like when it get hard, that don't mean you back out.
Yeah.
And I would practice that in my relationship.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how to practice that when it came to like my work life.
Mm. And I think now too, like with social media being a thing, it makes you also feel like, oh, this person here, and they was just here yesterday and now they here today. Like, how can I get there?
Yeah.
And I know that sometimes like
it can do it.
It can do it. Cause like when I was on Chasing for instance, like seeing some of my cast members be doing certain things and me feeling like, oh, well, they making money from their dream. Like I should, what am I not doing right? Well, I should be doing, but let me tell you, church on Sunday, the pastor said, and the words were vividly, he said, just because you're not where you want to be right now does not mean you're still not who you are.
Yeah, 1,000%.
And that thing had hit me so hard because just like who I think I am is who I am. And like you said, that vision is not given to me for me to just be thinking that delusionally.
Yeah.
No, who I see myself as is who I am and who I'm going to be. I'm just not there yet, but I cannot stop visioning myself being there.
Yeah.
And the longer I vision myself there, eventually that vision will come true.
And that's the part that stopped me from getting a job every time. I can't shake the dreams that I've had since I was a kid. And when I say dreams, I don't necessarily just mean like what I felt like I was going to be. What I know for a fact that God told me I was going to be. Yeah. What people have prophesied in my life and told me that I will do. I genuinely can't let it go. It's one of those things that it actually robbed me so bad to the point that I have to like pray about it because I can't let it drive me crazy. Yeah. But I know that I am going to be somebody that is going to move masses of people. Yeah. As a kid, I've always had dreams of being on a very big stage, talking to thousands of people to the point that I can't even see the people's faces. I can just see like their figures. And it's like, I can't let that go because I know that I'm supposed to do that. I don't know in what capacity I'm supposed to do it. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but I do know that part of my calling is to be a voice. Yeah. So I just knowing that, and that's the thing. You have some people who be like, I don't know my purpose. I don't know my purpose. Imagine knowing your purpose from being little and living with it and trying to see it come to fruition.
Yes, trying to see it come
That's
through.
heavy too.
Yeah.
Versus like trying to find it, that has its own heaviness as well. Yeah. But imagine knowing
what you're supposed to be and just being like, whoa, God, when am I going to be it?
Yeah. And what I've realized is like sometimes we aren't where we think we should be because things have to happen really on God's time. Like it literally does. You might get the idea before time, or you might get the vision before the time, but you might not have the patience level to deal with it. Yeah. So then you pray for patience. And when you pray for patience, I think people think that when you pray for stuff, it's a bippity boppity boop. You have it. Yeah. No. That's not how that works. You pray for it.
And you get 1,000 obstacles.
Oh my God. You pray for it. And then he gives you every opportunity and chance to practice at having that patience or having that peace or being graceful. And that's how it comes about. And shout out to my EP of my show. His name is Travis. He is always one of those people that says reps build confidence. That's the same thing like with like your spirituality. The more you go through different obstacles or deal with certain things, it builds your confidence of, it's cool. Now I know how to be patient. I think that's part of how we were able to come back and be friends so easily. Yeah. Because it's like, I've done the work. I've had that obstacle. I've had this obstacle. I done fell out with this person, this person, this person, this person. Baby, I'm just watching them fall like flies.
Okay.
Now I'm good. I'm good to deal with the obstacle, or I'm good to deal with the friendship not working out the way that it need to work out.
Yeah.
Now I have built up a certain level of confidence where like I can step back to any one of those relationships and say, hey, we kind of got off on the wrong foot.
Mm-hmm. This happened
and I think that we should rekindle our relationship.
Yeah.
And it don't make you feel no type of way because you have now built the confidence. It don't make you feel less than. It don't make you feel nothing. So
and I definitely agree. Now, your thoughts on challenges, Black women as entrepreneurs. What are your thoughts on the challenges that Black women face in entrepreneurship?
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like us as women, we're really winning right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're the ones dominating everything. Yeah. To be honest. Mm-hmm. Entrepreneurship and all. I do think that still does come with challenges. Yeah. Like we are, when you're attractive or when you look a certain kind of way, you're instantly somewhat sexualized in a sense. Mm-hmm. And a lot of our industries are male dominated. Mm-hmm. So we usually have to, I tell people all the time, I always say like the homeboy in me won't die. Mm. But I say that because like I find myself having to be more masculine in spaces so that people don't focus on my femininity or like me being pretty or whatever. So like, for example, my production team is all men. I'm the only girl. Mm-hmm. So like seeing me maneuver with them. Yeah. I'm a little boy. I'm a little boy with them because it just make everything a little smoother. I don't have to worry about nobody like liking me or anything like that, like in an angle that I don't want to be liked in. Shout out to them in general though, because they're a very like amazing group of men who truly like are trying to maximize on your talents and your assets and not necessarily like what you look like. Right. So I appreciate them, but I think we deal more so with things like, I feel like at this point, people take us serious. Like they know we are the ones when it comes to like business and different things like that. But I think we still deal with the challenge of like being sexualized or like having to make ourselves seem a little bit more like masculine or maybe a little meaner or whatever the case may be, so people can move around and just focus on the job. Yeah.
And I think that's just even watching some shows, like women have to be that way with men that they are not attracted to or that they don't want in that capacity, because if they don't show like that little mean towards them, and some men get a kick out of being women being mean to them.
Some guys like it.
But some women do have to put their foot down and be stern, because just like, look, let me let you know now. Let me go ahead and set this boundary now, so that as we're going along in the future, you don't feel that you can ever cross that line ever.
For sure.
Now, what are the biggest misconceptions? Like, what's the biggest misconception that people see when it comes to being a beauty influencer?
That all that shit is beautiful outright. Like, it's not. I said I was going to start posting my bloopers. Mm-hmm. 'Cause it do not be the post. Yes. It don't be the post. Like, the process is not necessarily the most pretty. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I be making like fashion videos and stuff, and I look back at it and be like, ooh, that was wrinkled. You should have ironed that.
It'd be a lot of different things.
It's not as pretty as it's portrayed to be. Yeah. It's not as quick as you think it is as well. Like when people be like, all right, y'all, what's up? I'm about to get dressed real quick. I got 15 minutes.
You not recording that video in 15 fucking minutes.
No way. No way. At all.
Like it's literally, when I tell people to be in just a content creator, any kind of content, like whether if it's doing a podcast or doing reels or whatever, that shit literally takes time. It's
Hella.
another job.
It's a whole nother
And
job.
people think it's just so easy. Oh, I'm finna go be a content creator. I'm finna be influencer. I'm finna be this. Baby, when you sit down and realize that one video or you doing several takes take 2 or 3 hours of your day.
Yes.
So imagine working your 9 to 5, getting off. Literally, I went to work today, baby, and I'm here today. I'm here tonight doing this show. And then when I get done with this and he send me once he edits and do the little 3 clip parts and the cameras and all that, and then I got to do my little spin on it.
Yeah.
I'm still working.
Yeah.
It's like I'm still working. And baby, I'm trying to get this out immediately. So, it's a process to it all.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody thinks like, well, you do it so effortlessly and you do it so this. And it's like after when you've been content creating as long as I've been content creating, my God, I was just talking to one of my friends about this the other day. I was talking to James about this, and James was like, Daysha, you have done probably 1,000 photo shoots.
Yes.
Over the course of your life, if not more.
Yes.
And
because you used to push out pictures
my God.
every other day. Like, I ain't gonna say every week. Like, it was like every other day. Like
5 out of the 7-day week, I had a photo shoot.
You had a photo shoot. You had new pictures, new something being put up.
And it's the misconception behind it is it's easy or that it all just instantly come together. No, it is a process, and it is a process that you have to be like gentle with yourself on, as well as like efficient too, because you can look up and it's 6 hours later and you've been editing the same damn video.
Same damn video.
Like it gets crazy. So I think that people think in their mind like it's a lot easier than it really is. Like even like right now, like with your show.
Yeah.
Baby, if y'all wasn't on this angle and y'all was back there, y'all would see there is so much stuff back here that I can't even tell you the first thing about what to do with.
I can't tell you the first thing, baby. Okay.
Like, so people, and I think that maybe us as content creators, we should probably start showing people more of like the background of what it takes to do a lot of this stuff. And I said that I was going to start doing it a little more to show people like my bloopers, because y'all always get like the perfect picture or you always get the perfect video. And honestly, just to let y'all into my mind, 75% of what I put out, I don't really like that.
I don't even watch the shows after I do them.
75% of what I put out, I don't like that. I don't.
I watch it through while I'm editing it. But once it goes live, I can't even look at myself.
Yeah, and I think
I can't even look at myself.
I think that I just got to a point where I have done so much that I'm trying to figure out how do I level up to be that next version of Daysha.
Yeah.
And some days it'd be like, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do because I feel like I did everything already. But shout out to my team and to, people seeing potential in me to help give me that next level look.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I love that for you.
That's just kind of how that happened.
I love the show.
Thank you.
So this is going to go into our last little segment. And then once we do our last segment, because girl, we are winded. And anyway, but we going to go into our last segment. And then after our last segment, we're going to do like just a quick little, the quick little game I told you about. And then we'll go ahead and go close out the show. But this next segment is called The Real. Friendships, fame, and filters.
Okay.
Now, what is it like navigating friendships while leveling up?
Navigating friendships while leveling up. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's not that hard. It's not that hard for me because a lot of people who have been my friends had already seen my potential.
Right.
You see, I'm technically not a different Daysha. I'm an evolved Daysha. So everybody met me already being on a lot of what I was on.
Right.
Like by the time majority of my friends met me, I had already had modeling campaigns, or I already was going to Disney Channel auditions and Miami Heat dancer auditions and doing all this talent stuff. So I have always been in this space. So making friends is not that hard, but at the same time, maintaining some of those relationships that I've already had with my level up can become difficult. Because I start to seem like the celebrity friend in a sense. And I don't like when people size me up. Like, and by that I mean, like, when I'm with my friends, I just want to be a friend. I don't want to be the friend that does X, Y, and Z and da 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 da. And this my I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. So I tend to hang around like the same group of people. My A1 day ones is still my A1 day ones. Like, I'm still cool with my high school best friends, my college best friend. Me and her are still locked in. Like, I'm still friends that hang around with majority of my line sisters or people from my organizations from FAMU who are still like my friends to this day. And then as far as like making new relationships or building new relationships with people, I do limit the access to me to a certain extent. I think that it preserves the relationship depending on who the person is. It preserves the relationship a lot longer. Because I think in our mind, we are like the love children. We were raised to be love children. So I think we think that we're supposed to fully embrace everybody. And that's not really the way. You got some people that you leave at this point and you don't let them come all the way in here. It is some people that you have to do that with, and there's nothing wrong with that. Those are healthy boundaries for real, to maintain and sustain the longevity of those relationships that you put in place. Just because you work with people, that don't mean they got to be your friend. But you do need to respect them. You should be nice to them. You know what I'm saying? And you should be cordial with them. So I'm learning that everybody don't have to be my friend.
And it was hard for me navigating new friendships because even still, like, I still hang out with the same people too, like Jose them, Devi, like, I don't really, and some people from the show I don't hang out with anymore, but it's some people that I still keep in contact with, like Oliver, Willa, people like that. But it's just like, it was hard. It's hard for me now to even let people in because it's just like, I already have a core group of friends and I already have people that know me. How many, unless it's like work friendships, as far as like people that's on the outside, like trying to bring business to me or help me level up in a certain sense. But it's just like, just having platonic friendships come in, it's hard because it's like, damn, I already got all these people that know all this stuff about me. Now I got to bring you in, catch you up to speed to try to get you on a certain level. And it's just like, but again, like you just said, everybody's not meant to be to that level. But it's also like, too, as a certain kind of friend that I am, it's just like, damn, I don't necessarily want to have you at that level, but I also want to have time to pour into you or have time to really get to know you. It's just like, I find that hard because guess what? New friend call versus you calling, I'm going to you versus to the new friend. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's, and I talked about that in the friendship series too. It's just kind of hard for me to navigate new friendships. But it's just like, I'm trying to get better because of course I love all my friends, but I don't want to get stuck in just being in these group of people. Like, these are going to be my core people. These are going to be people that bring with me. But it's like, you do have some friends that you go grab food with or grab drinks with, or you do have friends that you can go sit and read a book and sit in the park and do all this. But you want a different variety. So I'm trying to get there.
I'm trying to think. When the last time I made a new friend is what I'm trying to think. Seriously. Oh no, I've made some new friends. But let me tell you this. I think it's so crazy because one of my new friends that I made, who I really enjoy her, she was somebody that I found on Instagram first. Like back in Tally days. Everybody, it's so funny because, again, for whatever reason, God be aligning everything. I found her on Instagram back in Tally when I was like a sophomore in college. She's also my age, but she was a dancer as well. So that's how I end up just following her randomly on Instagram. She not like this really big influencer girly and all of this other stuff. Nothing like that. She just was really good at dancing. Randomly came across her account, followed her. Fast forward 10 plus years later, now me and her work together.
Yeah.
And she actually became somebody who is like one of my new friends. But I haven't made any new friends. A lot of my friends are guys too.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Only new friends I get is
I got a lot
Jose.
of girlfriends too already, but
yeah,
I make guy friends.
Jose usher the friends in. Like if it ain't somebody that Jose know, I'd be like, child.
Jose is the he is the like
the one that you always thought was a boy. Yes, he's social butterfly.
Yes.
Know everybody. And literally like I'm just like, if he say you cool, you cool.
Okay, we'll see.
Girl, we'll see you.
We'll see.
But now, next question. How do you like stay grounded in the world where everybody's watching, but not always rooting for you?
I never know who's not rooting. And by that, I mean, I don't pay attention to who's not rooting. I only pay attention to who's there to support. You attract what you like give energy to. So don't get me wrong. Every now and again, it's always like, an extra, like, it's always a person who haterness is very like forward and outright. It's like, I can peep that you're a hater.
Yeah.
And then you're always here hating.
That's crazy. That's my next question. But yeah.
I hate that for you.
Yeah.
But I rarely ever pay attention to who's not rooting. I always tell everybody like, thank you and I appreciate your support and stuff like that too. But I also don't live too hard for who's supporting. Yeah. Either.
Because some people can be fake supported too, just to try to get in your corner or get into what you got.
Yeah. So I try my best to kind of like tunnel vision and kind of like push all of that out. Don't get me wrong though. You say something slick in them comments,
I'm on your ass.
I am gonna say something back.
On your ass.
And they be dying laughing about my show because on TikTok, they hate me on TikTok.
No, they hate you on TikTok.
They hate me on TikTok. They be dragging me so bad.
I have not gotten
But
TikTok
one
yet.
thing about
I'm
TikTok for sure,
trying.
the girls never call me ugly and the girls never say that I don't have on a look.
Okay.
So,
they can't say that. It's okay.
So we can argue, you know what I'm saying? We could go back and forth over having like differences in opinions. I do not mind that at all. But I finally got to a point where I can actually laugh about who's not supporting.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I actually pay attention to it too much, it's going to bring me around to the fact that there's some people in close proximity who don't support. And then now I'm caught up in the cycle of trying to figure out, well, are you a hater? Are you this? Are you that? I ain't got time for all of that.
Ain't got time. Because guess what?
It's too energy draining.
One thing I've learned that the people that are around you that are supposed to be around you, they're going to be there.
Yes.
And God will keep them there. But when you start praying that prayer, honey.
Hello.
For God to remove those people, He will. He'll do a clean sweep.
Yeah.
Mopped.
For
literally.
sure.
Like, and we'll talk about this off the show, but it was just like so much that happened with people that I thought I was really, really close to.
Yeah.
And they turned around and hurt me to a point where it's just like, and that's another reason why I haven't really gained new friends. It's so hard for me to trust people now.
Yeah.
Like, on the inside, I'm probably like broken. Like, when I say broken, like, it's just like, because if you're somebody that I've told all this to or brought you into all this or loved you this way and you're able to do me like this,
yeah,
it's no telling what the person that's literally right here with me will do.
Let me tell you, I think that, and don't get me wrong, I might not be perfect at it, but I started doing this thing where my sister always tell me, include yourself, don't exclude yourself. And when she told me that basically was her telling me that you're never excluded from people doing you a certain kind of way or vice versa, you doing somebody a certain kind of way. So when you include yourself and you don't exclude yourself and you see certain characteristics amongst a person and they do it towards somebody else and it's not you, the fact that they did it speaks about their character.
Right.
So now you need to include yourself and say, damn, that could have been me.
Yeah.
You might not be my cup of tea.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I do that. And then something else that I also do when I'm building relationships with people or meeting people, I really, you have some people that are like really excited about or get like distracted by the optimism of having a new friend versus studying the person.
Yes.
I study people.
Same.
Once I study people, then I sort of kind of know what you're capable of. That's why I'm able to maintain relationships or friendships with people who like a lot of my other friends aren't friends with.
Yeah.
Because I study them.
Yeah.
She's attitudinal.
Yeah.
I know she's going to have an attitude. Honestly, she's going to have an attitude at least 6 different times today. Sorry. She the Debbie Downer friend.
Okay, look.
She is. But because I know that about her, once she start to Debbie down, she not on my nerves.
Yeah. I know how to maneuver through that.
Yeah, I'm gonna move around. This is the friend that want her way. It got to be done her way or the highway. There's gonna be spaces of opportunity where I'm gonna do stuff her way, and then there's gonna be spaces of opportunity where I'm gonna take the highway because I don't got time for that today.
Yeah.
So I feel like to know your people is to love your people, and that keeps you from being in certain spaces with each other. And just even to go back to like what led to us not speaking to each other. I feel like maybe y'all both stop thinking about who each person really was, and that's how y'all got there.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I know who both of y'all are. Like I know who you are and I know who you are. And that was literally the place that I was kind of speaking from on both of y'all behalves because baby, I even went through it about you at my motherfucking house because I was over there saying, like that's like you know that's him.
Yeah.
Like I don't even understand why we arguing about shit that you know is him and he know is you.
Yeah.
What we talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like when you know like your people or when you study people and you include yourself, you know that you're never exempt from being the person that they cross or that they treat a certain kind of way or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I just always be like, I'm never too big, too small or nothing for nobody to play with.
For nobody to play with. Hello. Now this question, quick extra spicy little question really quick. When was the last time you had to cut someone off and did you do it with grace or did you do it with fire?
Oh, the last time I had to cut somebody off, I did it with grace. And I'm so proud of me. My God. I'm so proud of me because I am very fiery. And by that, I mean like my dad shows his love or like how much he care about people by cussing you out. He will cuss your ass out.
Bad.
But he love you down. Like you know you got cussed out because you really fucked up.
Yeah.
So I get that from my dad.
Yeah.
And my mom is the one that like, she's a lot more graceful from the angle of like how she communicates certain things. Like, believe it or not, my mama told me I was mean to you. She said I was too mean to you and I shouldn't have said some of the stuff that I said to you. She never let me fucking live it down.
You know, that's my girl. You know, I love her down. You know, I love
my
your
mama was
down.
like, well, Daysha, did you have to say it that harsh?
I love her.
I'm like, Mom, I said it to the best of my abilities. I didn't mean to say it mean. I said it the way that my brain could process it. And she's like, I wouldn't want to be your friend.
And see, I think that's where we've grown though, because I feel like now I respond to things totally different now.
Yeah.
Like, I know how to have conversations without putting all of my emotions into it. And I don't feel like at the time I was, you know, I'm a Cancer. So it's like I wasn't emotionally intelligent at the time.
Yeah.
And when I was talking to the other Libra the other day, he basically said the same thing. He was like, you know, you weren't emotionally intelligent at this time, but it's just like now you are.
Yeah.
And it's like I know how to like take my feelings out and not necessarily bring all the anger that I have with me and just sit that to the back and just try to work it out.
That's a constant practice for me still to this day because I'm a very passionate person. And my passion does sometimes go from like, I don't don't think it go to 0 to 100. I think it go like 0 to 50 and then 50 to 100 type of thing. Like, I think that you can see the gradual build with me unless I'm just like livid.
Yeah.
But I rarely ever am like truly mad as hell at this point. But
oh, Deborah is gonna scream when I call him and tell him what I just thought about in my head, and it's something that you said. The day we came to your house,
dirt. Yeah.
Oh my God, Daysha! Oh my God, girl, me and Deborah talked about that for hours after we left your house, and then we was just like, girl, I want to fall out. It was just so funny because it was like we weren't even. It wasn't even a funny situation, but the fact that you said that, we were literally about to literally cackle.
Oh my God, y'all! Thank God for growth. I'm telling y'all. Ooh, damn, that's funny as hell because I instantly knew what you was saying.
And girl, as soon as you said that, I just looked at you. It's just like it just popped in my head. I was just like, girl, baby, my girl used to be ruthless.
I try my best. I tell people I'm a reform crash out. Oh my God,
I ain't reform crash. I'm still a crash out. I'm trying not to crash out.
I'm a little better. I try to breathe. I try to think about it. Oh my God. But I am kind of at the point where it's like somebody whose opinion I value very much told me that I'm passionate, but I'm sometimes passionate about the wrong things. Mm-hmm. So I'll waste my energy in an argument on something that doesn't even deserve that. Energy, yeah. And when I sat down and thought about that, it's like that makes so much sense. And then because I'm passionate, sometimes I can't take things personal too. Mm-hmm. Like it could be something that don't got nothing to do with me. We just having an open dialogue. And then I'm talking about, well, I and for me and I think. And then that go from that
to everything else.
So bitch, now I'm mad. Because now I feel like you trying to say that without saying that I'm this. Yeah. And I had to learn that, like, no, we just having a conversation. Yeah. But it definitely took some time. Like, I think that my emotional maturity and like intellect is definitely under development right now. Like, it's in the process of being developed. But I think I'm doing a better job. And I have a really good supportive group of people behind me that's like, Daysha, you can be passionate, but we need this passion to be for something. It can't be for everything. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Now, before I go to this, because I do want to, I want to do two quick topics really quick before we go to the hot seat. These are the magazine cover, Muse. And I just want you to talk about that real quick. Shout that publication out really quick and just, how was that for you?
So that was an amazing experience. Okay, so Muse is a digital magazine that's produced and directed by the HBUC, which is also my home studio that I work for. So it's a production studio. HBUC stands for Historical Black University of Creatives. So it's a spin on HBCU. And Muse magazine is basically a magazine where they highlight a bunch of Black women that are doing a bunch of amazing things, kind of like game changers in each of their fields. You don't necessarily have to be an entrepreneur or be in the industry. You could be a regular working class woman as well. But it's just to shed light on how beautiful and well-rounded we are as Black women. It is created and directed by Travis Cochran and Sean Michael Craig. And both of those guys alone are just like two amazing visionaries that's like amongst us, just walking around regular, not like resume thumping or acting like they nobody. Very regular guys, but they're doing some major things, honestly, in the background. And they're more so the type of people that don't care to have all of this recognition for real. They really silent partner like people but they are doing amazing things. And other women that have graced this same cover, you got Gail Bean, you got Tasia Roberson, who is a professional dancer. Y'all see her dancing right off the shoulder. Chris Brown and Victoria Monet, every music video, every concert, everything.
Yeah.
So they have highlighted everybody, but then you've also had Kate the Great be on a magazine cover.
Yes,
you
Kate.
had Bree Harmon do a spread. You had Lauren Ashley do a spread. And these are just a bunch of different women. You got Kate, who's an influencer. You have Bree, who's a host and correspondent.
Yeah.
You have Lauren, who's a choreographer and movement coach.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
It's another lady named Nandy. She is, she worked for BET, but she is like a manager, like a talent manager. So they pick from a little bit of everybody from all walks of life. So I thought it was really cool that they chose to highlight me because the funny thing is, I'm a part of the team.
Right.
I work in the back.
Yeah.
My job is to be the makeup artist for whoever is the muse.
Yeah.
My job is to be the assistant stylist and pose and movement coach for Muse magazine.
Yeah.
So I'm usually there to work. And probably like maybe a year ago, no more than like a year and a half ago, I asked Travis, who is the executive producer of the magazine and owner and operating manager of the HBUC. I asked him, what is it going to take for me to be a muse or a change agent? Because they have another show called Change Agent. And I said, well, I want to be a muse and a change agent. And he was like, you're not there yet. So I was like, okay. But I took that as a, because of who he is, I took it as a just like keep working.
Yeah.
Like keep working harder and keep showing us why you are one, not a you can't be one.
Yeah.
And fast forward a year later, I got my first publication.
Your first publication.
Yes.
And I love that for you.
I'm on a
I love that for
cover.
you. Yes.
Got a whole spread.
I need that. I told you that picture that I like the most. I need to put that in my house, especially probably in my bedroom, because my bedroom is going to be black and white.
That's so funny because why I want to pick the pictures and put them in my room
Okay,
too.
listen, I need that one. Now, we're going to go into the hot seat top topics from your show. Culture or clickbait.
Yeah, it's your girl.
It's your girl. Now, tell us a little bit about your show before we do these hot topics really quick.
Yeah, so Culture or Clickbait is my show along with my co-host Dante Brown.
Yes,
and
shout out Dante.
Yes, and what we do is we basically talk about the latest headlines in music, sports, and entertainment, and we say if it's for cultural advancement or if it's just clickbait. Clickbait can be something good and or bad. Sometimes clickbait is just like bullshit, and then sometimes clickbait is really like clickbait with the intent to educate you or clickbait with the intent to make y'all buy a product. So clickbait is not necessarily always a bad thing. But we do differentiate the two by things that actually advance the culture forward and then things that are kind of just like temporarily here for a little moment, for a little spell. So we drop our show weekly. And we try to like stay up to date with everything that's going on, like in almost every genre.
Yeah, I love that.
So
yeah, period. And see, that's what let me tell you what I like about that for you, like, because for me, I don't mind talking about, the latest things. I don't mind. But on my show, I just like to talk about that person and really get into that person. But I love that that's your lane. That's when being friends and also being able to support your friends who are in the same field as you and not feeling like they're trying to step on your toes, because we're in the same field, but we're in two separate lanes, and we're doing two separate different things. And it's just like, but just to see you in that space, like, I really love that for you.
Thank you.
So hot topics. Some few hot topics from your show that I just want to go down the list really quick and just do a little quick chat about. Now, the first topic, of course, I had to talk about this one because, this is our girl, Billboard female rapper list. And, of course, at the top of the list was Nicki Minaj. And I've been arguing with bitches for the last week and a half.
Come on.
But I feel like this list was really great. Her and Missy being like the top two contenders. And then you had Who else on there? You had Queen Latifah.
It was the top 4 was Nicki being at number 1, Missy, Lauryn Hill, and I think Lil Kim.
Lil Kim, yes. And I feel like that was the perfect list. Like it gave you a variety of what female rap is.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, y'all know I'm a barb. I'm going to be a barb. I try not to be a barb as much and be as crazy, but it's in me, not on me.
For sure.
But yes, the female rap list. And I think that now at this point in time where we are in the culture, like, it's enough conversation about who's the top, who's the bottom. Like, no pun intended. Yeah. No pun intended.
Unless you like it.
Okay, unless you like it. Because she a soft top, if y'all ain't know. Yes. She's a soft top. But like, I feel like that conversation is like there. Like I feel like every girl that's in the industry right now, they're putting in the work. They're doing like what they should. And I feel like everybody's in their own lane. Like, stop trying to compare these artists to each other at this point, because y'all aren't doing it to the men.
Nope.
Y'all don't say the newest male rapper is the next Jay-Z, or he's better than Jay-Z, or he coming for Jay-Z neck, or this next rapper.
They really don't.
They don't do that. So it's just like, let the girls be girls.
And you see, I think what I really liked about this list was the fact that they gave like a criteria that you had to meet.
Mm-hmm.
So with the criteria being what it was like you had to have certain amount of accolades. You had to have basically like timeless music, like music that's still being spent right now in the clubs and just all over. You had to have like different placements. So probably like being placed in movie soundtracks and shows and just a bunch of different things. And when it came down to that list, it very much gave, y'all got to give Nicki her flowers.
Yeah.
The end.
end.
We can wrap all of this up because...
And just let it be.
Yes, because the reality of the situation is you don't have to like her as a person. You don't have to like all her different characters and or personalities. But what you cannot take away from her
is the work she's put in.
the work. The work and the level of influence that she has like left and provided for all the other girls that's coming up.
Baby, I even wanted me a pink bob.
Yes, like let's be clear. The Dojas, the Doja Cats wouldn't be Doja Cat without a Nicki. Like
talk about it.
The Doechis wouldn't be the Doechis without a Nicki. And even bigger, not just Nicki.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Doechii and Doja wouldn't have been themselves without Missy.
Yeah.
Without Lauren.
Because of
without Kim.
Like just being and I know people are gonna hate me when I say this, but there wouldn't be a Nicki Minaj without a little Kim. But
literally.
Even though she's at the top of that list, like these are still people that, and this goes to show you, like, you can come from a different era and still be at the same neck and caliber as your peers.
For sure. Performance over potential every day. So once you stop performing, it's over with. You just become the person that has the potential.
Yep.
People can outperform you any day.
Yeah.
People have outperformed me many a times.
Same.
Because I'm operating in my potential thinking that, okay, well, what's supposed to be for me is just going to be for me and it's going to come. Yeah. And it's like, girl,
no, you
got to do some work.
You got to do the work. Mm-hmm. Next, since we talk about female rappers, Doechii performing with Lauryn Hill. Of course, she did a doo-wop with her, little duet on the stage. Mm-hmm. Do we feel like Doechii is the next like big female rapper? Does she have what it takes to possibly be the next Nicki Minaj?
Ooh. You know what? For sure. I think she does have the potential to be the next Nicki. But I wouldn't even really put her next to Nicki. I would actually put her more in the pocket of like a Lauryn Hill, Queen Latifah.
Mm-hmm. I can say being Missy Elliott too, even with her her video creativity.
Yeah, Missy Elliott. And even just pulling from some male inspiration, Ludacris.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I like to, on my show, I like to always talk about how like people should not be exactly who somebody else is. Like, so you shouldn't exactly copy the blueprint of nobody else. But if you are truly an icon, you leave residual behind. When you leave residual behind, you create many versions of you. But those many versions of you should be the evolution of you. They should like add their own little touch and be a little different. So you know how they have like the picture of the evolution of how man became man, and it started out as an ape, and then it started standing up a little straighter, then it started standing up a little straighter, his hands got straighter. That's literally what I mean.
Yeah.
If you're truly a person of influence, you're going to create an evolution of who you are as an artist. And that's how people like pull back from all these other people who did other stuff. So I think that Doechii truly has the potential to be as big as Onika, but let's be clear.
And what she just said was basically is all these bitches is my son.
I am a Doja Cat fan. Okay. And that's who's the evolution of Nicki.
Yes.
Let's be clear.
Let's talk about
it's Doja Cat.
Listen, I'm not gonna take that away from you because I will give you that.
It's not Doechii for me. It's Doja.
I will give you that.
But I think Doechii is equally as amazing and can have the same amount of impact.
I'm loving Doechii's, even just like Doja Cat. I'm loving the versatility of them both. Next, Gabrielle Union going 50-50 in her relationship with Dwayne Wade.
Baby.
And then she took that back and said, she wanted to be, a little more feminine, a little more soft. She doesn't want to, she wished she could do that. But it's just like, girl, you could have been doing that.
Yes.
No shade. Like, you are married to Dwayne Wade. But in real life, do you feel like relationships should be 50-50? And of course, this is real life, their real life, but in our caliber of life.
I'm going to tell you like I said on my show.
Mm-hmm.
And I quote, I said, Gabrielle wasn't supposed to do nothing but bring an iPhone to the table.
Hello.
To begin with.
Thank you.
But I also said that I think that relationships are 50-50, 20-80, 40-60.
Yeah.
It just depends on the season that y'all are in and where y'all are. It not only are they in a relationship, they are married.
Yeah.
So when you think about the vows that they took to create their union, their job is to weather every storm. So that's if it's 50-50, that's if it's 80-20, that's if it's 40-60. Now, what I can tell you is, I do think that there shouldn't be one person in a relationship that's making more sacrifices than the other person, because that's kind of how y'all burn out. But I feel like the whole conversation behind 50-50 is kind of stupid. Because I ain't gonna lie, as a man, I don't want no girl that I gotta 100% take care of. Because what the fuck are you here for?
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call a hardworking woman. A woman
seriously.
that wants her own. Because, a lot of you girls don't want your own. Y'all just want to be taken care of.
Don't get me wrong.
And not saying she ain't saying she wouldn't appreciate that.
You can pay this mortgage.
Okay? You can do all of that.
You can.
But, again, that response, and I love having different mindsets, but that response is perfect for the next person. A man, you shouldn't want you can appreciate a man taking care of you, but you shouldn't want a man to take care of you. You should want to have your own, because at the end of the day, niggas switch up like motherfucker.
But that's why it's called a
they switch their draws.
That's why it's called a partnership. If just one person doing it, baby, let me tell you this. We all watched Dragon Tales, and Zack and Weezy was two heads and was better than one. And that's exactly what the slogan said.
Yep.
That's exactly what should be going on in your relationship. Everybody should be playing their part. And sometimes there's going to be seasons where your husband burn out or your wife burn out, and you might have to overplay your part in that season. Y'all just can't stay there.
Yeah.
But it is your job to do that. So a lot of people gave Gabrielle Union a lot of backlash for her coming back and saying, I changed my mind. I don't want to pay the bills no more. I want him to do it. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
She was in a season where she wanted to pay to play. So she felt like if I keep playing, if I keep paying, if I keep holding down certain bills, I have an opinion in this house. I'm able to make decisions in this house. I'm able to do X, Y, and Z. Once her husband He did what he was supposed to do. He worked with her through that season of her wanting to be in control and to navigate things. And he worked her into a space where now she's a little bit more vulnerable and a little softer. And now she's like, I trust my man. I want him to take on a lot of this stuff that I was carrying as well. And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with because, baby, I want to be soft.
You could be both. There's nothing wrong with that.
I just want to be soft.
Me too.
I just want to be soft.
Save me.
Save me. But my last one is, now you spoke about Missy Elliott's Coachella performance on your recent show, and Missy reposted you, or she gave you a repost on Twitter, and then she also posted you to her story posted you to her on Instagram.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel, knowing that Culture and Clickbait is getting the response from such an icon?
It honestly is one of those things that's like, this is insane, and this is what we've been working towards. Like, I have been shooting my show as like the main host for a year and a half almost. And the blueprint of the show has been the same from the beginning. And my EP is so supportive, and he's so like, he's the person that's like, I'm telling y'all, man, don't get distracted by the numbers. It's going to work. It's going to do what it needs to do. And the fact that it made it that far to somebody of her caliber, and not just her, like, she just has been the first person to take one of our clips and actually like repost it. But Chris Brown has tapped in and liked our Chris Brown clips when we was talking about the 11/11 tour. Nick Cannon has tapped in and liked some of our clips when we was talking about him. And granted, like, we was cracking jokes on Nick Cannon and everything, and he still liked the post and everything. Like, we've had some people like even repost things like to their story when we talk about them. And I just think that it's amazing because we always speak things as though it were about our show. Yeah. Like, we always be like, right now, we are driving our little work cars, but give us another year, baby. We all gonna be toot beat beeping in something new.
Okay.
And we be like, that's the billboard right there that we want our stuff to go on. And we always say stuff like, we the hottest show in the city, or like the best duo that you'll ever meet in Atlanta. Like, we always just say stuff. And I feel like us just putting that stuff out in the atmosphere, we're starting to actually see it come to fruition. Yeah. So that was really one of the moments that was like, that's crazy. Yeah.
And you gotta keep speaking stuff into yourself. Like, the more you speak it, the more you, again, like you said, you will see it happening. Like, keep putting in the atmosphere.
Yeah. And don't be distracted. Like, my favorite thing to tell people is, don't be moved or swayed like by the numbers. Don't always be motivated by the numbers either. And don't always be motivated by money. Yeah. So if you keep yourself as pure as possible with what you're doing, people will latch on and stay tuned. Yeah. So you just have to focus on that part. And that's literally what we do. Like, the one thing that I love and appreciate about my show is nothing is coerced. Like, I am able to be exactly who I am. Yep. Like, and at first, when I first started doing it, they was like, what is this journalistic persona that you're trying to put on here?
Okay, girl.
Drop it and just talk to us the way
Bring
you
out
talk
the
to us.
Quisha, girl.
Yes. They be like, drop it and just talk to us the same way you talk to us when the camera's not rolling. Yeah. So I love the fact that I'm pretty much able to say whatever it is that I want to say. And best believe they be in the back like, Daysha gonna get us canceled.
Listen.
But they rock with me. Yeah. They rock with me every time.
As they should.
So I appreciate that. Like, I love that we don't have to pretend. We really are being ourselves.
Period. And I love that for you. And you guys, that was the Hot Topics. And that was just a miniature Culture Clickbait. You can catch Daysha's show every week on Shout Out Your Show and tell us where we can find it.
Yes. So you guys can find Culture Clickbait at the HBUC on Instagram, on TikTok, and on YouTube. And just to give y'all a sneak peek, we are now streaming on all audio platforms as well. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on Spotify and Amazon. So that is super dope.
Yes.
Because now you'll be able to just drive and listen if
You
you're not
can
able
listen
to
anywhere you
watch.
want.
Yes.
Yes.
For sure.
Shout out to my girl. It's your girl. Now, the XL Essentials is the finale.
I love
And we're
it.
gonna and we're gonna get to the end of the show. So this is just a rapid fire. You can just give me quick responses and we're gonna keep pushing.
Mhm.
So, what's your favorite go-to makeup product?
Ooh. Laura Mercier Ultra Blend Setting Powder.
Period.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Song that makes you feel unstoppable.
This is hard because I like so much music. This gonna be real ghetto. Ready for War by Major 9. That go back to me being a soft top.
Very masculine, girl. Very masculine.
Yeah, no, it's not a girly song. It's very much a hood nigga.
Yeah.
Like, yo, turn me up.
What is your dream collab?
I'm so trained.
Your
It's
dream
crazy.
brand collab. Very trade. Very trade. Y'all see I got my girl up on all the terminology. This is what we used to do back in the motherfucking day.
Yes.
What is your dream brand collab?
Oh, my dream brand collab. Right now, it will be dream brand collab. Damn, this is good. I would give it to Fenty.
We love us.
Beauty and Savage.
Period.
I want both.
And my girl thick as hell. Thank you. And one thing you refuse to compromise on.
My Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Amen.
My spirituality. And I will always say Jesus Christ, not God. Jesus Christ.
Thank you. What is next for Daysha?
Bigger, better, higher. What's next? Honestly, I honestly see my show expanding.
Yeah.
My show expanding, and what's next for us is we do have some new things that we're trying to work in that I think our audience would be pretty happy about. And I'm excited about those things because it's going to also incorporate my fashion sense.
Yeah.
So y'all will probably be able to like go behind the scenes with me to go shopping and see me do certain things and how I prepare for the show, as well as us bringing in like actual guests to be in our culture clickbait world and do our show with us, as well as be interviewed. So
I'm not saying anything, but you know,
you're definitely on the list.
I would like to step foot on this.
You're definitely on the list.
I would love to stop by. And outside of YouTube and all of those things, what other ways can my listeners support you?
Yes, you guys can support me by following me at Bella_DOND. That's Bella Don. And you guys also can support me by booking a makeup appointment for any of your occasions, from weddings to birthdays to photo shoots. And that Instagram is Doll by Day. That's DOLLDBYDAY. And then I cannot forget, because I have a new baby on the block.
Yeah.
You guys also can get creative direction. You can get models casted if you have like your own brand and you want to put together a photo shoot. You can get production assistant work, movement coaching, and just all of the things that you need to kind of like brand and market your personal brands at The Dawn Effect.
Yes,
And
The Dawn Effect.
that's spelled THEDONDEFFECT.
Yes. Now, first of all, this is a really good show, and I feel like you gave a lot of insight on a lot. And I thank you for answering each question properly and giving me just some insight about you. And I feel like this is, honestly, I just feel like we just caught up so much and listened, to what was going on. Now, of course, we spoke about relationships earlier. Where are you now with dating?
It's complicated.
It's
like
girl,
a Facebook status.
It's complicated. Girl, I take that, girl. I'm in complications right now. Too,
It's
child.
complicated.
I'm in complications right now.
It's
too.
complicated.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the best way to describe it.
Girl, I'll take that. Well, we gonna hope that it gets uncomplicated.
Yes.
Because I'm trying to go to somebody's wedding. I don't know who need to get married, but
Ooh.
I want to go to a damn wedding. So anybody of my listeners out there, if you get married, send me an invitation.
Hello,
you ain't even gotta know us for real. She can be my arm candy.
I was going to say, we can
But
do a
baby,
+1.
We can figure it out. But I want to go to a damn wedding. I just want to cry. I don't know why I want to cry. I just want to cry. Daysha, I went in my friend wedding last year. They talking about some bitch. You was crying before he even. As soon as the song started playing, we see you wiping tears, baby. I was weak. Well, listen, that has been our show for tonight here on Talk Live Tuesdays with Tag. Now, listen, next week, I have a special guest coming on the show. She is a trans woman, and I was at brunch with her like a few weeks ago amongst friends, and she was having a conversation about just her perspective on her transition and things like that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow. It made me be like, girl, even her friend was like, oh, you need to go on Troy's show. And I was like, oh, no, I need to talk to you. And it's someone that we all know, but I will let that be surprised on the next promo. But right now, we want to thank Daysha for coming and sitting here at the table on Talk Live Tuesdays with Tad, the podcast. And listen, again, follow my girl. Make sure you shouting out her show. Make sure you're watching her show. Make sure you're keeping up with all the culture or clickbait moments. Yes. And make sure you booking that makeup appointment. Because let me tell y'all, we don't want y'all going out cakey. We don't want your eyebrows to dart. We don't want none of that. We want the lip line line right. If you want that, you get Doll by Date. If you think it's a game, go look at a few of my other episodes and just see like just the highlight, because I love me a highlight. I love me a highlight. Give me a little highlight on the cheeks. Thank you. But yeah, so Daysha, thank you again. I love you so much, and I can't wait to see what happens next for you. And listen, one thing about it, we've always been on our way to the top. So girl, I always see you there. Every time. I love you so much. And y'all already know what it is. It's your boy.
And it's your girl.
And we are out. See y'all later.